Hello everybody and welcome to my channel once again. My name is Emma Popo. If you've read the topic, you can tell that today's video is touching something quite serious. I didn't want to make any commentary on the issue initially because of how popular it was. You know, there is always a bloodline where we ask if a content creator creates content just because they want to talk about what's trending or because they really care about the issue. But I decided to make this video anyway because of how important and sensitive the topic is. I have the responsibility as a woman to use my platform to speak out for justice, making a stand and doing my part in this fight. The past week has been full of crazy and disheartening stories at home and abroad, to be honest. But among the many, I just want to focus on one. I'm sure we've all heard of the sad story of Uwaila Vera Omozua, who lost her life tragically on the 30th of May. Uwa was just 22 years old, in her first year studying at the University of Benin. But on the 27th of May, Uwa went to a church to study when she was brutally attacked. She was raped, beaten and left for dead. Unfortunately, she never pulled through. Defiled and traumatized, poor Uwa lost her life. This tragedy shook Nigeria as a whole, and we have all been speaking out against this deplorable act, raising our voices in plea that justice would come for Uwa and her family. Everyone has been doing their parts to advocate against rape by waving the flags of hashtag say no to rape, hashtag justice for Uwa, hashtag no is no, among many others. But while many are still speaking up against this cruelty, there are still those unfortunate few. Yes, I'm talking about rapist enablers and victim blamers. My new name for them lately is the she should haves. It is so surprising that despite how unacceptable the issue of rape is, we still have those people who are willing to go out of their way to defend rapists or blame the victims of rape. And they are very, very easy to identify. You will see them saying things like, look at what she wore, she deserves it, oh, this will teach her how to be decent, only indecent people get raped, why was she at so place at so time, she should have just complied when she was being raped, or and it would have been better for her. Folks, I am not joking, exaggerating or pulling this out of thin air. I had to go through the gold mine that is Twitter just to find examples of these enablers. Let's look at specimen 1. Take a look at this monstrosity. I can't pull myself through reading it a second time because of how outraged I was when I first read this. He even ended the post by saying to his fellow rapists in a sad attempt at redeeming himself, instead of raping, why not beg her? She might give you. Please shun rape, e no good. Your mama no go like am. Hear am. I cannot even read it, but let me try. Your mama no go like hear am if police show. It's clear that this illiterate sees the subject of rape as a joke. Note how he starts the post with LOL. Should I even mention how irritating he was for reminiscing on his past rape attempts? Disgusting. For people like these, they see no consequences to their action. People who lack tact or sympathy when talking about rape are just as bad as rapists themselves, if you ask me. Rape is not something to be joked at. Rape is not something to make fun about. I read another post that went in the line of, instead of a woman struggling during rape, women should learn how to be compliant and ask their multiple rapists to take turns and show different sexual positions. The idiot who made that comment, I honestly cannot tell if he was trying to be funny or giving legitimate advice to women. Either way, it's clear that he sees women as objects without feelings. His audacity is appalling, and how can he not even be ashamed to show his monstrosity so openly? That fool has no respect for women, and if you ask me, I would say that he might as well be a rapist himself, yes? Amid the horrible tragedy that surrounded Uwa's demise, I've seen people comment that she should have not gone to the church to study, she should have not done this, she should have not done that. It's very easy to throw blames and give advices when you are not the one in the situation. Why is it everybody's first action to just blame the person that is the victim here? That's a classic example of victim blaming. When will we start holding perpetrators responsible for their actions and stop blaming the innocent victim who had no idea what was coming her way? I came across another outrageous and questionable post on this matter. A Facebook user named Livinus LM commented this in response to Uwa's death. He actually said, "Good for her. Why would she be dating two roommates at the same time?" First of all, that comment raises some suspicion. I am very sure the police would want to know what was behind his comment. Secondly, there is no excuse to ever violate someone that way. No excuse. I cannot even fathom how he can justify something so wicked. Since this matter is too heavy for me to address alone, I have invited a friend of mine, Despicable, to help me talk on this matter. So please, D, take it from here.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeshewa. I'm a writer and blogger at despicable.com.ng. The issue of rape is something that is really horrible and dark. I mean, it's like one of the highest forms of evil that can be done to a person. You know, not only do people lose their lives, let's talk about the mental effect of rape on the victim. These are things that can go on throughout the person's life. It can affect the person. It can affect the person's confidence, the person's mental health. And I think the worst part in this part of the world is that most times when rape cases happen, just like the case of Uwa now, people tend to blame the victim. People tend to blame the victim for what happened to them, like anybody would literally put themselves in the position to be harmed. And it's crazy if you see the comments that people are dropping, saying that women should offer men who want to rape them sex. It's our bodies. We have a right to our bodies. We have a right to go out and read. We have a right to go to church and read. I mean, if you can't read in church peacefully without anybody hurting you, where can you read? It's crazy to see people blame women for being the reason why they are assaulted. People always come up with excuses. People always come up with means to blame the victims. She lost her life, so what did she stand to gain? Do you think she was going to actually put herself in harm's way knowingly? Nobody would do. No sane person would do that. And no sane human being with a heart would actually open their mouths or sit down in their rooms and type what people are busy typing on the internet today, accusing her of why should she go and read? Why shouldn't she read? Why shouldn't she read? I don't understand. Is she not meant to read? People talking about how, I even saw a sick comment where someone said, if you have like multiple people who want to rape you, just beg them to wait their turn and just give them different styles. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you literally kidding? Personally, I feel people like this should be tracked down and arrested, because no sane person would actually say that. No sane person would actually say that. Rape is evil. Rape ruins people's lives. It takes people's lives, just like it has taken Uwa's lives. Her bright future is gone. The dreams her parents had for her is gone. Because in Africa, women cannot just be who they want. They can't be safe. Or you have to dress a certain type of way. You have to look a certain type of way. A rapist doesn't need any excuse to rape. Let us stop blaming the victims, the poor people who are affected by this. Let us stop accusing people of things that do not make sense. Let us stop it. It's really appalling. It's really sad to read. And personally, I feel like anyone who drops a comment like that should be checked, should be mentally checked, should be arrested, because only a rapist will say something like that. Thank you.
Thanks for the input, D. Rape is something that has been plaguing our society since we can remember. But as time goes on, you would expect that society would outgrow it. It is so exhausting that these incidents keep happening over and over and over again. In my opinion, rapist enablers and people sympathetic to rapists are the ones fostering this terrible trend. Playing the blame game only shuts rape victim up, and once a rape victim remains quiet, the rapists are free to rape another day. To end this, enablers should be given similar consequences as those who commit the act themselves. That is my own. That's what I have to say. Trending concurrently with the hashtag no to rapists is the Abuja to Akure hashtag. This viral video captures the harassment of a woman by a passenger sitting beside her in the vehicle on her way to Akure. When she actually spoke about the harassment, the other passengers told her she was overreacting and she was left to endure the molestation throughout the journey. I skimmed through the Twitter comments in outrage only to find more enablers blaming the woman who was the victim in this situation. Here is a good example. Make she wear jean trouser, long gown or long skirt when she dey travel next time. When she buy her car, she fit drive naked. Laughing face, laughing face. Okay, but here's another. Guy, you are right. Before we question the man, we need to question what exactly tempted the man. Period! Exclamation mark. Last time I checked, we as people are responsible for our urges and how we control our temptations. Self-control exists, dudes. For example, I always have the urge to punch foolish people with foolish opinions in the face. Doesn't mean I actually do it. Why not dress decent? This is another one. This is another comment. Why not dress decent, followers' sake, and stop this wokeness? Is anything wrong with that? Yes, something is very wrong with touching someone inappropriately despite how they dress, and I think you are the one who needs to stop with this fake morality. And here we have one written by a fellow woman of all people. Excuse me, this is not rape, don't get it twisted. This is, wait for it, self-pleasure. This one do not need help. Seems she's enjoying it. Yes, that is always the next conclusion. She must be enjoying it. There must be something wrong with the woman. That is unfreaking livable. The painful thing about this topic is that rape and sexual assault happens on a daily basis, and this kind of behavior is insensitive to the victims. Rape is beyond traumatic, scarring much more beyond just the flesh, and it needs to be treated with sensitivity by everyone. Instead of victim blaming, saying what the victim should have or should have not done, why don't we all speak out against the real villains? There are millions who have gone through this, and not a single one deserved it. Uwa did not deserve to suffer like that for any reason at all. She did not deserve to have her future stolen from her. The 11-year-old girl did not deserve to be torn up by 14 animals in human clothing. This madness has to stop. We can't keep condoning toxic behavior. That is all for this video, guys. I can't say any more again. Thank you so much, D, once again, for coming on here to speak your mind. I am Emma Popo. Bye, folks.